Good morning, campers. Happy Monday. And you know what it means? Masculine Monday. So we're going to do a reading for a beautiful collective of divine masculines. I hope you had an amazing Valentine's Day. Although, to be honest, as I opened the channel, I'm not sure was this Valentine's amazing for this collective, because I am feeling quite off, nostalgic, and I took 2 decks to start from really diving into your energy. And I was also thinking that we're going to do a message. How does source, how does the creator, how does your guides see you? Because I feel like you are being quite harsh on yourself recently, maybe. Let's see, we're going to see what comes through. I want to start from these, and then we're going to do tarot to dive into your energy. And then we're going to do how the source see you and some guidance. My beautiful collective of masculines. How are you? What's going on with you right now? What's going on with your energy? Victim mentality. Victim mentality. But I looked at the number. It's number 5. So I feel like this may be shifting. I feel like you may be going through, I'm hearing dark night of the soul as well. So you may be going through some shadows that tie back to victim mentality. Maybe you have been, it's coming to my mind, and maybe you have been, working through certain things, and maybe you had a period of time where you actually were quite on a higher frequency, on a higher point, but then recently we are in a very tricky energies, right? Of February, the move from the snake to the fire horse, the move from 9 cycle to a new 9 cycle. The karmic energies, the dharmic energies, the astrology is crazy, and to add to that, Valentine's with February's energy. Maybe you just got overwhelmed. I keep hearing that you're not seeing things the way they actually are. Sometimes, it happens that if we've been struggling with a specific shadow, right? Victim mentality. Maybe you also have the tendency to not believe in yourself, to expect the worst. There's a card in this deck that's expecting the worst, so maybe it will come through. Sometimes when we're about to experience a real breakthrough, they illuminate these shadows to us to show us, no, you can choose. You can be more conscious. Okay, let's continue. I don't feel guided to really read into that anymore, so I'll look closer. Number 18. So maybe you have been looking closer to certain things. I'm feeling very slow, so there's a reason I'm feeling slow. I'm feeling like reading slow. Maybe you have been experiencing life slower. Maybe you have been trying to remove the urgency for certain things, the impulsiveness of certain things, to be more in the moment of now, be more in the present as things are happening. Just observe, which is very beautiful. It's coming to my mind as well that maybe it's been on somewhere on your journey, it's been brought to your attention that most people do act on an autopilot, on a program that was inserted into their minds by conditioning of society, of the matrix, culture, religion, and they think that they're acting free, but they're actually following the patterns, the subconscious patterns, the wounds, the autopilot, right? Confirmation. And you've been trying to really observe yourself, observe others, so look closer at certain things to understand better. Let's see the center of your spread. Raise the bar, number 39. Maybe you are, maybe it's an important number. We have 18 and 39, so 8 is a bit of the theme. But raise the bar. Maybe you have been, it's sort of a building a story for us here, because you've been trying to look closer, right, at the victim mentality. Maybe now you're realizing that it's actually lack of self-love, self-esteem, worthiness that pushed you to choose certain things, and you're trying to heal that, which would be beautiful. To have the raise the bar in the center of your spread, it means that you want more from life. You're wanting more from life. Let's do 2 more for your first row. Oh, we have 2 again. Oh, that is nice, you guys. We have you affect them too, number 34, which is a very important, 54, sorry, which is a very important card for the masculine. We have Casanova at the bottom of the deck, so maybe that was a shadow of yours, a bit of a Casanova energy, you know, the man of all the ladies. You affect them too. It's really beautiful, because it starts for a very long time on this journey. You, because of the woundings, right? So remember, I'm not saying this from a judgment point of view. Because of the woundings, because of the automated patterns that you're not conscious of. You think that this is just the way you are. You identify with what happened to you, which is not what we're supposed to do. So for a very long time, you just, you are so overwhelmed by your wounds and those automated patterns that you just act in life without thinking how your actions actually influence other people. And that includes the feminine. And it's funny, because I've done a reading yesterday that it's a completely different collective, but I've explained this mechanism. It's not like you're being selfish, it's not like you're being egoistic, but because of your low standards, low self-esteem, bar through the floor, you're just incapable. You don't have the capacity within you to think about other people, and you're feminine as well. So the moment you want to ghost, the moment you want to run away, the moment you want to disappear, you're not ready mentally, physically, energetically to think how it's going to affect her. You're just overwhelmed with your own avoidance, with your own wounds, with your own pain, right? So the fact that you affect them too, it means that, and all this slowing down, looking closer, I feel like you would be, and they're showing me a bomb squad. So maybe you're even borderline obsessive right now. Everything you say, everything you do, it's like you're thinking, oh my God, how this is going to affect this person. My actions affect them too. And it's funny because it's oftentimes, I highlight this to you guys, that when we are dealing with a specific shadow and we start to heal that shadow, we don't regulate immediately as we heal. We usually go overboard, right? So for example, people who struggle with people pleasing, when they start to heal people pleasing, they usually have this dark era, dark feminine, dark masculine, right? When they start to go completely overboard, when they start to be like, no, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm not going to put you first. I'm going to put me first, right? Almost borderline egoistic, right? But it has to happen, because we have to experience all the spectrums of the wound to really understand it, to really love it, to really be able to integrate it. So it may be that a lot, if not most of your life, you have been on the spectrum of, I don't care about others, whatever, I don't want to deal with this person, I'm going to avoid, I don't want to deal with this situation, I'm going to leave. And now you're literally analyzing every word that comes out of your mind, comes out of your mouth, to a bit of a exaggerated. So we have to balance that, right? Yes, it's important to realize, but it's also important. And I think it was in last week's Masculine Monday, in the last week's masculine reading that we did, that I've mentioned this example to you guys, that because we were talking about a masculine that was very conscious that he broke some hearts in this lifetimes, and we have to see the difference, because sometimes we do something, as long as it's coming from a place of love, as long as we are healed, we are balanced, we are self-aware, sometimes we will hurt people, and it's okay, and it's not on us, right? So with that example of a broken heart, I've given you an example. If you deliberately flirt with someone, lead on someone for your own validation, or play with someone, that the broken heart is on you, not just on you, because this person should have had better boundaries, but it's partially on you. But if you are not doing anything maliciously, if you're standing in a place of maturity, if you're saying no, and this person still, gets heartbroken, it's not on you, and it's a healer wound that is not allowing us to accept the emotions of other people. So for you, it may be that, maybe it's setting boundaries, maybe it's doing certain things. So if you're coming from a place of love, if you have good intentions, if you worked on yourself, if you're self-aware, if you're conscious of your actions and of your words, and you are just, for example, putting a boundary, or saying no to someone, or saying no to a relationship that no longer resonates, or a karmic friendship, whatever that is, and this person is offended, is hurt, it is not on you. It is not on you. So being conscious that you affect other people, it's beautiful, but don't drag it to that overboard. And we have Satori. We have Satori, which is the awakening of the masculine. Which is the awakening of the masculine. We will tap into your energy, but I am hearing that it may be, you wouldn't feel it, to be honest. Just, it may be coming. It may be starting. You wouldn't be feeling it because you're going through your victim mentality. You don't feel too good. You want to raise the bar. You started thinking, looking closer. You started thinking how you affect others. So you look at your past self, and I'm hearing it's always darkest before the dawn. You may be feeling right now like you're taking a step back, but if you've been maybe following either myself or other content creators that talk about the energies of now, from astrological and spiritual perspective, it is a difficult period of time, and that kind of a mindset is very common right now. We feel like we're in the darkness. We feel like nothing matters because the past me is gone. So the past you, the one that was a victim, the one that was hurting others, the one that had a bar for the floor, no self-worthiness, no self-esteem, no self-love, that person is gone. But you're in that waiting room in between cycles, so you haven't figured out quite yet how to embody the new you, how to be the new you. You have to learn him. You have to get to know him better. So it may be that, let's do another row. Let's see what else comes through. What's in your energy? Dark night of the soul. Didn't I say it? 49, didn't I say it? You are going through either a dark night of the soul, or that dark moment when we have to revisit certain shadows to finally let them go. And I highlight to you guys always that healing happens in a spiral, and we revisit certain shadows because we heal them partially, we integrate them partially, then we sort of go back to this world to learn our new persona. It's exactly that, okay? Because the moment you realize you have a shadow, there's a part of you that no longer is. The awareness of your shadow kills off the past version of you. You cannot go back. You cannot unknow, right? So, for example, if you're avoidant and you've been acting from a victim mentality all your life, you didn't know this. You just thought that this is the way I am. Exactly what I said. We think that what happened to us defines us, and then people constantly, the programming, tell us that this is just character, this is who they are, they're nasty, they're avoidant, and this or that. It's not true. They're all shadows. It's not for most part, most people, 80% of who they are, it's not who they are, it's their shadows. It's their unconscious mind trying to power through and the automated patterns. It's not the character. So you were told and you believe that this is who you are. And the moment comes that it's being brought to your awareness, you find out about the pattern of avoidance. You start reading about it. You start finding out about it and where it comes from, how it looks like. It ticks all the boxes of your life and you're like, damn, I did not know this. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You cannot unknow it. So the past version of you that was unaware and was acting on an autopilot is immediately killed off, right? So you start to understand it better, heal it better. You sometimes still act on it. You sometimes stop yourself. It's a process. We go in and out, right? And then when you come to that final rodeo of the spiral, when you're ready to fully let that go, it feels like you're going back. It feels like you're revisiting, but it's a final feel into that shadow to really stand in the certainty. It's just a shadow. I love it. It's part of me. It was created because of the wounding that I've accepted, that I've healed. I have to let that go. I have to let that go. Okay, let's take them. They were. It's two. That's why I hesitated. But let's take them. This one's gonna be the first one. We have let's talk, okay, and we have shallow waters. We have shallow waters. And that's paired with that raise the bar. So in the center of your spread, you have raised the bar and shallow water. So you would right now be thinking how much in life in the past you settled for things, not because you wanted them or you thought that these things were fun, but because you didn't believe that you deserved more. So maybe most of your relationships were shallow. Maybe, remember the Casanova, maybe you lived a period of time when you would go out every weekend, do weird things, substances, one night stands, shallow friendships, people that you couldn't really, sit down with and talk about your problems, but they were there for the party, for the thrill. Maybe you didn't understand the let's talk about sexuality is paired with look closer. So maybe you're looking back at your sexuality, at your past relationships. Sign. The power just went off. Do you realize? You realize because my ring light went off. Sign. Something happened, and it may be dark night of the soul before preparing you for the Satori, that something happened that made you realize that you had it all wrong, that this wasn't a cool life, that this wasn't a good life, that this was just a life that you don't even want it anymore, but you thought it was all that you could have. And now you're learning that you deserve more, that you can have more, that you can be more. Let's do two more, and then we're going to dive into your energy and tarot. Master of Destiny, Victim of Fate. Yes, I love seeing this card whenever we read for beautiful masculines, because I highlight again to you guys all the time that for very long in this journey, our beautiful masculines, they think that you are victims of fate, that you have no influence, that you were born in a specific family, country, that you're given this character, right? You don't understand that these are wounds that you can heal and overcome. You don't believe that you can fight for more. You just think that you're here for the ride, that you cannot influence your life. And there's a moment you are realizing and learning that we have countless possibilities in front of us, countless timelines, right? And that one timeline that is dharmic, that is highest, most abundant timeline. And that is the timeline that we can reach only through work, only through self-work, through inner work, through shifts. And I'm also thinking, so again, I feel like you may be going through dark night of the soul. You may be going through, you know what I'm hearing more than dark night of the soul, actually, I'm hearing ascension and download. So maybe they downloaded certain information into your mind. They opened certain drawers and pockets of your mind to illuminate certain things to you, so you can process them and upgrade. I'm hearing light codes as well. So maybe they upgrading you energetically, upgrading your DNA. It's usually what happens when we go through ascension process, and it's of a process, okay? Especially if you're not used to it, especially because the masculines, yes, you are many years on this journey, but it's not until the very end, as you start to feel into this journey from a spiritual perspective, right? Because all those years you're in the matrix, you're beneath the veil, so you're not seeing into the truth, you're not seeing beyond the 3D physical life. So this sort of a process, ascension process, upgrade process, would be new to you. So you may not understand it, right, just yet. But when it happens, it feels exactly that. It feels like darkness. It feels like step back. It feels like you're not understanding what's happening. Information are coming to your mind that you cannot process, that you cannot make sense of them, that you cannot fully understand, right? So maybe they're bringing certain things to your mind. Hold on. I wanted to turn on my ring light. So maybe they're bringing certain things into your life so you can process them. But because you don't understand that this is actually ascension and an upgrade, you are not allowing yourself the time to chill, and you're being a little nervous. What is happening? Why am I going back? Why am I feeling this way? I have been feeling quite okay. You have been feeling okay. You've been growing. You've been expanding. You've been learning. So they decided that you're ready for an upgrade. So they put you through this ascension. Do you understand? So it feels like it's going backwards. But once you snap out of it, it usually takes 2 to maybe 5 days. And your mind will catch up with the energetic download of information and the light codes upgrades that they put into you. It will all be great, and maybe it is a preparation for your Satori. So I feel like they may have put some memories or some information about how we affect others, that it's all our worthiness, that it's all the programming, and it's like you're questioning everything. You're questioning everything. Let's do one more, final one for Satori. Do it scared. Do it scared. Do it scared. Overall, I'm going to repeat this just to do a little summary, because this is how I feel. I feel like the past months were good months for you, that you were feeling like you're a better person, that you're, ready for certain things, maybe even ready to close no contact with your feminine. Maybe you were thinking about reaching out. Maybe some of you even did. Had a touch point. You were feeling better. You were feeling like you're going towards the right direction, like you're growing, like you're understanding certain things, and it's all true. And your guides saw that and then decided that you're ready. But this process of awakening, process of ascensions, of upgrades. They're quite uncomfortable. Especially again when we're relatively new at this. If at one point when you're going to be consciously, you're not consciously a long time on this journey. When you're going to be consciously on this journey for 5, 6, 7, 10 years, you're going to know. You're going to know. You're going to know your body. You're going to know this process. Every time an ascension will come through, you will understand it. But right now, if this is really landing with you and resonating, what I can advise to you, will tap into guidance, but what I can advise is just rest and trust. Okay, so maybe you are over analyzing certain things, and ascension is a process when we need to confirmation and blocking. We need to let go of the mind, right? So they're showing you maybe things, how you affect others, and you're really being so cautious with everything. You're really analyzing, your previous relationships, connections, intimacy, the lack of worthiness, the victim mentality. But don't think too much. Just let go. Rest, okay? If you can, take some time off, 2 days. If you cannot, maybe just, every day after work, come back home, grab yourself a warm, comforting bowl of soup or bowl of pasta, take a shower, and go to bed. Watch a movie, do a little meditation, allow the thoughts to come in. Your mind will catch up. Your mind will catch up, and it will soon be over. It will soon be over, I promise. But with all that we have, I feel like they're showing you again certain things that you need to finally let go and understand. They upgrading you, but with the Satori and Do It Scared, I think that maybe in the past, for many things that you wanted and you desired in life, you were paralyzed with fear. And you're realizing now that it was because of lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worthiness. Maybe that job that you wanted to apply for, or maybe that promotion that you wanted to ask your job, or maybe that business partnership that you wanted to offer to someone. Maybe you're feminine as well. And every time you want it, you were paralyzed with fear. But what they're trying to show you here is that, and there's one card here in this deck that talks about that. I think it's about the courage. I'm guided to develop mindfulness to see what's the stability barrier. You're building your stability. The thing with courage is that people who have courage are not people who don't have fear. Quite the contrary. Courageous people are people who know fear to the very depths, but they're able to face it. So I'm hearing that what they're trying to teach you here as well now, that you're never going to stand in a moment that you will be so self-secure that you're going to be about to text or call your feminine or about to apply for the job, and you're going to be like, cocky and all bravado. There's always going to be a little fear, because it's natural. When we really care about something, the mind, the lizard brain comes in, and the key here is just to conquer and do it anyway. And this is with all our shadows. And this is overall such an important message for shadow work that I often highlight to you guys. When we have our shadows, we're not meant to carve them out and throw them to the bin. They will always exist within us. They're part of us. The key is just to understand them, understand when they're coming from, give them love, give them attention, make them feel comfortable so they can retire within us, integrate themselves into the wholeness of us. And whenever a situation and a trigger arises and they're waking up, you're so aware of their existence that you're not acting on them, right? So again, I'm going to give you an example. Once you integrate your avoidance, right, it doesn't mean you will never be avoidant. It only means that, for example, when you're going to have a conversation with your feminine, she's going to trigger you somehow, and that avoidance will start to power through. Oh my God, let's run away. It's just going to be easier. Now it's no longer automated pattern. You've healed that. You've integrated it. So you're going to be, no, I know you're there. I know you want to avoid. I know there's a part of me that wants to run away, but we're not going to do that. We don't do that anymore. We're standing in a place of light. We're choosing consciously. We're not following automated pilots, automated patterns. We're choosing consciously from a place of a soul, right? That's all it is. And it's same with fear. It's same with fear. You're going to feel that fear. Fear is going to try to power through, and you're going to say, no, I know it's there. Thank you, fear. Thank you, fear, for showing me that my mindset is not correct. This is all that fear does. When a fear comes in, give it thanks, because fear is something that appears in our body when our mind is going towards the wrong direction. It's designed to show us that we're not going towards the right direction. So you're about to reach out to your feminine and you start, no, maybe I shouldn't do it. It's this fear. Fear is just showing you that no, you're not trusting. Stop it. Stop it. Just trust. It's a decision that you took. I posted recently on my Instagram such a beautiful phrase. I don't remember now how it went, but it's coming to my mind. So it's really going to be relevant for this collective. But it was something like your intuition already told you. Your intuition already came through. Everything that comes afterwards is just negotiation with fear. And it's very true, right? Our intuition comes through. I want that job, passion and intuition. I want that job. I want that woman. I want that lifestyle. I want that. I want this. but then it's fear that it's coming from low self-esteem. You're just going to have to train yourself to do certain things scared. And the more